What's up, guys? Coach Seth here, Superior Athletes. So with basketball, ankle sprains and ankle injuries are very, very common, maybe even the most common injury in basketball. And today I just wanted to go over a few things to help strengthen the ankle, to explain why we need this ankle strength, and basically just help you to limit the amount of ankle sprains that you get during this sport. So if you're new here, my name is Seth Thomas. I'm a strength and conditioning coach, and I help you guys become better athletes for basketball. So if you're interested in more videos just like this one, make sure to subscribe and click the bell to get notified for each one of my videos. As always, make sure to check the description box below for all my links and notes. So the thing about ankle sprains and ankle injuries, if you have had an ankle sprain, which most of us have, you automatically become more prone to this injury. So you're more likely to get another sprained ankle on that injured side. And I think the main reasons for this, first of all, the tendons and ligaments, they just get weak after a while, especially whenever you have that injury, you're favoring it a lot, right? So you're not using it as much as what the other side is. The muscles are getting weak, the tendons and ligaments are getting weak, and even the bone density is getting smaller. So that makes it to where it's more likely for you to get this injury. So the whole point of this video is to make it to where you don't get this injury or just limit it as much as possible. We're going to create strength in the ankle. We're going to try to build up those tendons and ligaments more in the ankle position, and just overall help that stability in the ankle, which is what we are lacking for the most part in our ankle. So I'm just going to list off a few of my favorite exercises for the ankles. So we're going to talk about stability and mobility. We're going to talk about plyos that we need to be doing, and we're going to talk about the strength and power. So adding all of these elements is going to create that well-rounded ankle strength and just set your ankle up for a better position. This isn't only going to prevent injuries like this. This is helpful for athleticism, things like jumping, things like sprinting, your ability to change directions. All of these are going to play into things like that. So let's start off with the stability and mobility portion of these movements, and then basically we're just going to progress up from there. So if you're fresh off of an injury, you want to start at least a few weeks in this phase. So we're going to start off with a single leg stance. Now these are starting off very basic, but even if you haven't had this injury, this can be challenging for some people. And I don't care if you can squat 300 pounds or if you feel like your legs are just super strong. These stability exercises are very important, and I've seen people that can squat 300-400 pounds and not be able to do some of these stability movements. So first, stand in the single leg position, hold it there, and we're just going to go off of this for a minute, this position. The next step up from that, you're just going to turn your head from side to side. So you got that posture good, of course, that slight bend in the knee. We're keeping the heel on the ground for this one. The head is just looking side to side. Okay, this is going to, your vision plays a role in your stability. So turning your head side to side, that creates a different level of challenge. The next one from there is just going to be an eyes closed position. So we're still in that same position with the lower body, but we're just changing up our vision position. And then you can do eyes closed and turning the head. That's going to be the next step up from there. As you progress that, we're still going to be in a single leg stance, but we're going to do all of those same progressions. The only difference is with the single leg stance, we're going to elevate the heel. So we're elevating the heel. We're on the balls of the feet. So we're not all the way on the tiptoe. We don't want that heel to be super high, but elevating the heel, directing that attention towards the front part of the foot. Like I said, those same progressions can be used for this position. Next movement, we're going to be still in that heel elevated position, but we're going to go in an RDL hold while we have that heel elevated. And there's a couple different ones you can go off of this. You can do a hold from there and just hold in that bottom position. And to make it even more challenging, you can do a slight torso twist to both ways. Now we're With this twist, we're not twisting like 90 degrees or anything. It's probably like a 45-degree twist. So it's pretty minimal, but this creates that different level of challenge that we're looking for here. Next one is going to be more the mobility. So mobility and that flexibility in the ankle is pretty important as well. We don't want to look over this or skip over this. So the movement of the ankle, main movement, so it's not really a hinge angle. It's more of a ball and socket angle. It's not a ball and socket, but it's able to move multi-directional. But plantar and dorsiflexion are the main movements, just meaning up and down of the ankle. So the plantar is whenever it's down in this position, that full extended position. And that's what we're going to focus on, basically stretching out here. So for the plantar mobility, we're just going to be on our knees and we're going to sit back on the heels. And you can everybody's going to be flexible differently on this one. So if you're more flexible, you're going to be able to lean back a little bit more, really try to target more of that plantar flexion. And then for the dorsiflexion, I've went over this movement often, but we're going to be in like the sprinter position, but we're going to be in a half kneeling position, and then we're going to use our body to push our knee nice and easy. You want to do this very, very slow all the way to the floor. And while we're doing this, we're kind of directing the heel to the floor too, which creates a really good, it doesn't feel the best. It's very uncomfortable and sometimes painful. You don't want to push through too much pain on this one. But as you get good at this, you can start to ease forward, ease it more each time. This video is getting a little bit long, so I'm going to go through these last two pretty quick. So for the plyos that we're going to focus on here, I love pogos. There's a lot of different pogo progressions that we can go with. And these do not need to be high intensity. These are the low level plyos that I like to go with. It really helps with that durability, not just in the ankles, but the ankles are the ones that we're focusing on today. So forward pogos, lateral pogos, backward pogos, alternating pogos are the main lower level plyos that I like to go with. And the last pogo one is going to be a pogo series. This is one where we're picking up the intensity a little bit, and you're basically getting as high as you can on one while we're doing an eccentric recovery. So it's spring up one and then one low hop and then back into. So it's one low jump, one high jump, and you're just keeping the knees fairly straight. You don't want them to be locked in straight, but you don't want too much absorption in the knee area. And that's how I like to go with the pogo progression. If you get to a certain level, you can do them with your shoes off, but at first, it's going to be way too uncomfortable to do it with your shoes off at first. And if you are going to do plyos on with your shoes off, it does depend on the type of floor that you have. So you don't want to do it on like concrete or something like that. Something that's going to damage your bone structure probably. If you have like some AstroTurf or something like that, then that would be perfect for doing low level plyo with your shoes off. You can do it on the grass, on a soft ground if that works for you as well. Just be super careful with that. I want to recommend keeping the shoes on for the plyo portion. All right, there's a few strength exercises that we're going to go with. The first one is just going to be a calf extension. This one's pretty self-explanatory, but you can do these a lot of different ways you can progress this. I'm going to recommend going 2 legs at first. As you progress it, you can move into 1 leg. And then you can go weighted 2 legs and then weighted 1 leg. Especially at first, we're going slow movements on this one. Cliff holds are a good one for this, and we're just stepping off to the balls of the feet, keeping the foot level with the platform that you're on. And with the cliff holds, you can just step off of the platform with the balls of the feet right on the edge of the platform, and the foot can be even with the platform. And you're just holding that position. Kickstand raises, similar to the cliff holds, is more of a single leg exercise. Still, the balls of the foot is still on the edge of the platform, and then you're just extending. Whenever you go up to that raise, your whole body is coming up with you, and that really fires up the ankle position. Next is going to be an anterior tibialis raise. This is a muscle that we don't It's really hard to get with just body weight, but the way you can do it is lean up against the wall with your legs fairly straight, and then you're just going to bring your toes up as high as you can, basically into that dorsiflexion that we were talking about earlier. The last two exercises is going to be more focused on the power portion of the ankles. First one is going to be a calf pop raise. And this is the same movement as the calf extensions, the calf raises, but we're just adding force to it. So we're going down slow eccentrically, and then we're popping up as fast as you can and doing a little squeeze at the top. And then that way we can really focus on that slow controlled movement on the way down. And then basically just progressing this. By the way, the calf pops you can do on that platform, that elevated platform, to increase the range of motion. For this one, we're going to be just on the floor, so just on a flat surface on this one. And so it's basically going to be that calf pop, but what we're going to do is start off the movement with the toes elevated. Toes are going to be elevated, and then we go right into that calf pop. And then same thing with this one. I want that eccentric down, and then as you bring those toes up, we'll bring those toes up controlled, which also gets that tibialis a little bit as well. And then go right into that calf pop. This one you kind of have to lean back just slightly, and then as you lean forward, you drive the toes straight down, the ball of the foot straight down, lifting up the heel as far as you can in that extension position. So those are all the exercises I want to go over to help you strengthen up the ankles so you can help prevent and help limit this very common injury in basketball. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, make sure to subscribe and click the bell to get notified for each one of my videos. And I'll see you guys next time.